Oh, hello there. Yes, well, that was Monday. Yeah, that didn't really do anything for me. It was warm though, wasn't it? Yes, oddly so. Very, well, still autumnal really, those cold mornings and those hot days. Who knows what to wear when you have to head out and all that stuff. Anyway, today I just thought we'd sort of think about Starmer's Labour and what an appalling job they are doing of, well, pretty much everything at the moment. If you cast your mind back to a very long time ago, we weren't allowed to have a left-wing leader of the Labour Party because the Labour Party had decided that we weren't allowed one. So we didn't have one. It's astounding that the Guardian has just woken up to that fact now, and various other political commentators who were assuring us that the worst thing that we could possibly do to replace Theresa May would be Jeremy Corbyn, or indeed the even worser thing we could possibly do to replace Boris Johnson would be Jeremy Corbyn, and yet here we are. Yes, indeed. Oddly, of course, we have ended up with a stonking Labour majority, which is likely to go nowhere because their ability not to see things coming down the road is really quite astounding. Granted, I mean, the right-wing press would just have a go at them anyway, and of course the right-wing press have instantaneously forgotten the debacle that was the last 14 years of the Conservative government. But they were going to do that anyway, and with the stonking majority, perhaps nobody was particularly expecting anything radical from them, and all of those Labour right-wingers who were most insistent that we had to vote Labour because otherwise the Tories might get in and then everything would be appalling, are now having to insist that we just have to simply wait for things to get better. But one does have, unfortunately, the feeling that they won't. Yes. Now, these will prove very, very difficult times because an inept leadership that cannot see how the bad optics of a variety of things in and around Israel or prisons and sentencing, or indeed, let's not forget the whole pensioners thing, which is astounding. I guess the plan was that you put in a few small cuts and people wouldn't make a lot of fuss about them. Well, that hasn't worked out. They might as well have just gone for something big because, after all, let's face it, if you went for capital gains tax, the press were already going to have a go at you anyway, so it wouldn't have made any difference. But we are here now. So where do we go? Well, we end up probably with a Labour Party which is going to be actually very, very hamstrung by two things. First of all, its own majority, because that will actually encourage quite a lot of left-leaning Labour MPs to not really give a damn about losing the whip. Why should they, particularly with the prospect of another 5 years of a fairly solid Labour majority? So I expect an increasing number of them, possibly making moves or thinking to themselves, a bit like Conservative MPs with reform, that they might leap to a potential new Jeremy Corbyn-headed party of the left. Again, what would stop them? Because the thing that the last election really did tell us, that if a government is unpopular, people are starting to get very, very used to tactically voting. And in addition to that, of course, we have the whole demographic problem, in the sense that very, very large numbers of old people will die. Yes, that is demographics. Yes, I know that's the way it works. But bear with me here, okay? So what that means is that all of those people that have got used over their life to voting Labour and probably won't vote any other way will either change their minds or shuffle off this mortal coil. I'm a natural Labour voter, but I haven't voted Labour in quite a while, one way or another. You can imagine when the last time was that I did vote for them. But that's the inherent problem they have. There's a fracture out there, and it will only get worse. Now, will be growing calls amongst the life cycle of this Parliament, and I'm not expecting it to be enormously long, because I don't think they're going to make 5 years. But anyway, for PR. But with tactical voting, that makes that at the next election an almost dead certainty. So an enterprising party would capitalise on that. We do have a lot of Lib Dem MPs. They'll probably just get more. We do have quite a lot of Green MPs. Yes, I know we don't hear about them, but there again, they don't have their own TV station. So there's going to be a lot more of those, and these votes will largely fracture now from the Labour Party. So enterprising Labour MPs that have arrived all shiny from their public schools might well be looking to a new political future. But what future will it be? We don't really know, because it looks like we are going to stumble forwards in a kind of vaguely austerity, neoliberal style, very, 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 well, centrist conservative style Labour government. It doesn't look like it's going to get any better, and their crowning achievement might simply be selling off the NHS. I don't know. What exactly are they going to do? You can argue, oh, well, they've got all that mess from the Conservatives. Yeah, which is why it absolutely needed very bold action. The prison stuff really worked. Great. Do some more of that. But of course they won't. Timidity is the order of the day. And all those shiny-faced public school boys that there are in the party, of course, don't really have a particular incentive to do anything other than merely weather various storms. I don't know, as I say, I know this is fairly rambly, but I don't know. I can't see a particular way forwards here for this current style Labour Party, because they will simply be consistently outmanoeuvred in every single argument, not just from the right, but primarily from the left. Yeah, imagine what we could have had back in 2017 if the Labour Party, as a generic organisation, had actually got behind the leader. Think where we would have been now. Because I don't think Jeremy Corbyn would have decided to target winter fuel payments for pensioners. Worthwhile thinking about. Possibilities. Yeah, into the rose garden down the path we never took. Anyway, that's your lot. I've rambled for too long. Have a lovely Tuesday. Enjoy the sunshine whilst it lasts. Oh, yeah.